Hello and welcome to Tree Style Gaming. I am, of course, your host.
LPO. Oh my god,
wow, that's a hard
Are you a
name.
droid? Are you a droid?
El Potter.
Really good.
Oh, El Potter.
El Portray.
Please.
It is
El
Patro. It is. Maybe he's Latino.
LPO Tree. You can call me LP, call me Treat. Today we're going to go over one of my newest toys. If you can't see it, it's my first LD Nat5 in 6 years of playing Summoner's War. And that monster is Eludia The Light Chicken. To quickly go over the stats, HP super low, there's only 3 Nat5s lower, Veramos, Sigmarus, Tashar. Attack second highest to Tashar. The only one with 1,000 is Jar, the dark one. Defense super low, the only one lower is Perna. Speed super low, the only one lower than this is Vrad, the water dragon, but it's also tied with Sigmarus and Zyros. And Jar, the dark one. This is the only unit with under 10k HP, under 500 defense, and under 100 speed, making this the most fragile Nat5 in the game. To make it worse, Contest Side 2, awaken it into resistance. They could have crit rate or accuracy would actually make sense for this unit because it's going to be a stripper. First skill, like all the chickens, 48 chance to stun and deals damage. Second skill, damage proportional to max HP of the enemy, and then stuns them if they get a critical hit. Similar to Sigmarus, which freezes them, and not like Perna and Teshar, which have the Novas. Third skill, Defining One, removes all beneficial effects. If you successfully remove one, you get a 1-turn defensive break, and then it'll inflict the damage. So it does a lot of damage if you get the strip, and then if you get the defensive break, and then you get the damage. But otherwise, if you miss it, then you probably miss out on a lot of damage. I like to see it. I mean, this is the part where you can buff it. What they did with Chiwu is they made it to where, I mean, the equivalent. You can debuff the unit regardless of if you remove the beneficial effects or not. So you remove them. If you don't, because they don't have any, then you still land the defensive break, and then you can still do the damage. They did that with Chiwu. They did that with Rahul. And I think that's it. And similar to this is Gemini, the Brownie Magician, that can do the AoE 1-turn defensive break with strip. But then you can't buff Gemini. For RTA purposes, I don't like RTA, and the only comp that I ever see with this one is a super fast cleave, where their best stat is like 300 speed, and then they match this with speed tuned to that. And my fastest rune set for Swift with this thing, because it's so slow, is like 270 with attack and all the good stuff. Otherwise, you don't do enough damage anyway. But I don't know, maybe I'll try it someday. He is actually on my Guild Wars defense right now. Bam. That's about as good as he's getting. I use him in Arena. He replaced Lucian. So this is my Lucian team. I just switch him out. And unfortunately, this is the meta. I have an easy counter to this meta. And this is not it. Very weak to, obviously, everyone has a Miho now. A Nat3 is just going to wipe the floor with him. That's who's going to target. Triana is really annoying because if I kill something, it will negate that damage. And Triana gets a turn, and then I'm screwed again. So one of the things I could test, doing less damage, is kind of like the weaker Lucian, where I don't kill anything, but I do the defensive break and strip, and then Zeros will do the reset, and hopefully that'll work. But for the sake of everything, I'm just going to try it now, show you why it doesn't work, and show you why it needs a buff. So first thing, what am I doing? Hopefully Triana goes and buffs. And derp. And that's the next part that's kind of like annoying as hell. So one of the buffs that I wanted for Eludia is to give the defense a break regardless if they have any buffs. They should be punished for something like this. Otherwise you might as well just Lucian it, right? But let's see if I can get this. Maybe I can kill the Perna, but then the Triana's going to get another turn, and then it's going to buff that stupid immunity. So maybe I should do something else. Yeah, whatever. As for test, damage. So as a weird result, I killed this. I almost killed that. It did enough damage to this to trigger the Triana passive. But now I'm pretty much screwed, so... And because, you know, Miho's always ruined with such high resistance, I only got one tick on it. And he's stunned. I wanted him to kill them, but I think he's going to be the next target. Oh, that worked. Die! Oh yeah, I could have done that. Oh well. And Perna does Perna things. So I'm going to win this one. And this Perna goes another 6 times. So somehow that worked. Now for buffs, that was the first buff I was thinking of was just having it do the armor break even if they don't have will or immunity. Like it just automatically armor break these two, regardless if the buff was stripped or not. It could do like Nikki, have a attack buff on it, so I don't have to rely on attack bar booster with Megan or Bastat. And then I have a Bastat, that's why I'm using this one. And I don't 6-star this one because if I get a Bastat, right? The other one that would be even crazier that they've been doing recently is actually turning this into passive. So have a strip and defensive thing for 1 turn passive, and then make this second skill, who the only other one that has it is Sigmarus, as an AoE max HP stun thing. That'd be kind of crazy. But, you know, no one uses Sigmarus anyway, so that's not a bad idea. And they can also do other things, like to punish them more for having more buffs. They could do like the Brandia thing, where he would do 30% more damage for every buff or debuff that they have on their target. But as of now, honestly, like no one really uses them except for people that it's their only Nat5 and they have to use them. You gotta make it work. Because the utility's not there. It's just kind of another generic damage dealer. Like as a Nat5, he's actually pretty good. But as a LD Nat5, he's pretty bad. Like, taking him into a resistance lead, this is the result. I mean, I could probably still win with Leo, but it takes too much time. I'm recording a video here. So let's see if we find something for Guild Wars. No. No. What's this thing? Yeah, round 1. So, do that. So I don't need to do that. Basically just for the attack buff. Now let's show you the power of an LD Nat5. So this is actually the only team that actually know that this works. So I've done this before. Because I'm a professional. But even he has that one turn defensive break that's kind of annoying. Another thing they can do to buff him, similar to Corona, the dark brownie, you can make all beneficial effects turn into that many turns of defensive break. So if they decided to do, 3 beneficial effects and then you remove it, then it'd be a 3-turn defensive break. Because right now the 1-turn defensive break is very, very weak. Good for a regular Nat5, but not really LD Nat5. Shaking my head, shaking my head. And so you can use them in Guild Wars. But this actually works as a counter to that team. That team's meta, so not too bad. Let's try another one. Not enough energy! Oh no! Sleep. It didn't even buff. What a bad Bastat. So now we're getting worried. Hopefully they still have a bunch of buffs. Defensive break. This won't kill him, or it should kill him, but he'll come back. But it probably won't. Galleon smash! But anywhere else to use him? Probably not, unless you have something that tanks both of them. At least in the other one. That would have worked. And I'm back to full health and they're missing a unit. What? Alright, try come anyway. Even the Katarina derp. Did I strip? I stripped. Now who's gonna be the target? He died by collateral damage. My Daphne is not max skilled either. I just have so much other crap to deal with at the moment. Crit! No crit. Good thing Malone doesn't stun. And there's the crit. So, as a result, you saw I won a couple times already. Like I said, he's a decent Nat5. He just has a LD Nat5. Probably not so good. So the goal of the Despair speed set is I want to see if I can sacrifice damage, or how much damage I can still do with having higher speed. And the point is not to trigger the Triana, like the what, fast Lucian. And that way I can kill things, and then Zeros can fully reset them, and easy peasy, lemony squeezy. I like the attack better than the defense because I'd rather have them killed than stunned. And that makes sense. But he dies on collateral damage. I mean, my runes aren't the greatest for him. It's just kind of getting those stats together. I'd play it better somewhere else, but I need to keep farming these rage runes. So anyway, this is LPL Tree for Tree Style Gaming. Thank you and good night.